Hello, pre-algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here. We're dealing more with parallel lines, and I got to tell you, I think the stuff is really cool. First of all, let's just get right down to it. But we need to consider that you need to know these facts. In this problem, lines L, M, N, and P are parallel. Okay? If we don't know that, we can't do any of this problem. Now that we know that, this is some pretty cool stuff. Oops, I wanted to get rid of that 115 there. I don't want that in there yet. We're going to find in a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out every single angle in this diagram, okay, by using my alternate interior angles, corresponding angles, supplementary angles, things like that. Okay, so first of all, I know a lot of you like to do vertical angles. Let's do some vertical angles. Vertical angles make the x, right? Well, this is 65. Well, that's got to be 65 degrees, right? This one's 32. This has to be 32. This one's 40. That means this little one in there is 40. And right now, I think that's it for my vertical angles. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to go right here and I'm going to use a different color for each type of angle I do. Now, some will have multiple possibilities, but I did all my vertical angles in blue, so I'm going to do my supplementary angles in purple. So look at that right there. Those two together are adjacent and they make a straight line, so they must be 180 degrees together. So if I do 180 minus 40, I get 140 degrees. Okay, so that's supplementary. I can do these two and say, well, that's 180 minus 65, which I believe will be 115 degrees. How am I doing this? I know that they're supplementary angles. The red one and the purple one together have to add up to be 180 degrees. Okay, now I'm going to do this one here. And again, I'm going to do 180 minus 32. Well, I know 180 minus 30 would be 150. If I take two more away, I must get 148. Okay, so now that I know that, I can do a couple more vertical angles. 115 degrees, 140 degrees, and 148 degrees. Okay, I'm out of vertical angles again. I'll tell you what, I'm going to look for some alternate interior angles, and I'll do those in green. Remember, alternate interior make the Z, just like this. See the Z right here? So that means this 115 and this angle are congruent. Okay, I think I see a Z here. Boom. So that one must be 32 degrees. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more Z's. Okay, I want to point out to you though, let me do a couple more supplementary angles now. So this one here must be 65 because 115 and 65 make 180. Now I'm not going to do a supplementary angle here because I would need 3 to figure out 180 and I only know one of them. See, this angle's not going to be the balance to 180, it's those two together, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, well, I can say that these two are 180, so I could go 115 degrees, or I could have just easily said, you know, these are vertical. I'll go vertical this way and get 65. Now, if I could figure out this angle right here, I would be able to figure out this angle because I know all three together have to make 180 degrees. Well, let me check something out here. Get a little highlighter going on. What do I have right here? If you're thinking I have a triangle, you are correct. And I know that in a triangle there's 180 degrees. So, to figure out that missing angle, I could take 65 plus the 32, the two angles I do know, get 97. Then I could do 180 minus 97. And it looks like I'm going to borrow there. I'm going to get 3, I'm going to 83. This angle here must be 83 degrees. Okay. Now, I can use my, what was I using? Green, alternate interior. I can use my backward Z here to get this guy and know that he's 65 degrees. This is pretty cool. I can figure out the whole picture. This is 83. This is 32 using just these facts. 65 degrees. All right, look, I got an alternate interior angle here, which makes that 32, right? And I got another alternate interior angle here, which makes that 65. Okay, I'm going to figure out this angle here. This one will help me a lot. And check this out. This is something you might not realize is right in front of you. Look at this shape right here. This is a quadrilateral, yes? And how many degrees does a quadrilateral have? Well, if you remember from the problems we've done the previous days, we know that there's 360 degrees in a quadrilateral. I know 3 of the 4 angles. If I add those up and subtract the total from 360 degrees, I will get my missing angle. So 65, let me add those up. I'm going to get 10, 18. I'm going to carry the 1. Looks like I'm going to get a 12. Carry another one, 328. So I need to do 360 minus 328. Well, looks like that's going to be 32. This must be a 32 degree angle. Okay, which means this one here is also 32, right? Then I have a supplementary angle here, and supplementary angle is going to be 180 minus 32. Seems to me I've done that before. There's my math. I don't remember where I wrote it in though. So 148. There it is. That's a 148 degree angle, which makes this one 148 degrees. Okay. Now these two together make 72, right? And there's a triangle right here. So if I figure out 180 minus 72, which I believe will be 108, this little angle inside here is going to be 108 degrees. Okay, now supplementary to this one must be 72 degrees. And the only one I haven't really used is my corresponding, so I'm going to use those to show you how to do that. And I know that this is 108 here, and so here's my F, and so this one has to be 108, right? Consequently, there's another F here, 108 and 108. Just keep following the F's. Now that allows me to do my vertical angles. I'm going to get a 72 here, get a 108 there, a 108 there, and a 108 there. Okay, going to supplementary angles. And again, there's lots of different ways to do these. This must be 72, 72, 72, 72, 72, and 72. Okay, supplementary here. Looks like I'm going to get a 115, I believe. Yeah. All right, supplementary over here. 148. Okay, almost done now. Just a couple more to go. I'm I'm going to do some vertical angles and get a 148, a 32, a 115, and a 65, and there you go. So all I did was use the angles I knew. I used my vertical angles, right? I know they're congruent. Remember, they make x's. I used my alternate interior angles. Remember, they make the z's, right, where those two sides are congruent. Okay, I used corresponding. I don't remember what color I used for corresponding. Was that the pink one? So corresponding angles, which make the F. Okay, I used supplementary angles, which sum to 180 degrees. I also used triangles, which sum to 180 degrees. And I also used quadrilaterals. I think I specifically used a trapezoid. Looks something like that, which sums to 360 degrees. I don't think there was anything else I used in the problem, and I was able to figure out many, many angles. All right, that's your lesson today. We'll get some more practice with that in class tomorrow. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.